Hey guys, welcome to another installment of Inside RHS. Since school is in full swing and activities of fall are afoot, we're going to be learning if doing too many extracurricular activities are a bad thing. Here we have Allie Elkin, who does band and soccer. How are you today?
I'm alright, how are you?
I'm good. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm Allie Elkin. I'm a sophomore at Randolph High School. I've been living here for about 11 years. I obviously do soccer and I do band. It's a lot, but I enjoy myself.
How long have you been doing band and soccer?
Soccer, I've been playing, I guess since I was 5, so about 10 or 11 years. And band, I've only been doing about a year and a half. I picked up middle of 8th grade.
And how did you get into these activities?
Soccer, I mean, I've been playing ever since I can remember, but I started at rec and then I did travel up until high school, and now I do high school and another club soccer team. Band, I did in 5th grade and part of 6th, and I quit. I didn't really like it, and I got back in touch with Mr. Popat, who's the band director at the middle school, and I just wanted to do it again. I picked it up, and now I love it.
Do you find it hard to balance your activities because now you're in high school and it's a lot more work to handle?
Yeah, I mean, it is difficult. I do have a lot of schoolwork. I take honors classes, and it's challenging, but if I didn't love what I was doing, I wouldn't be able to do it, so.
Do you find it hard to still have a social life with all these activities?
I definitely do. I mean, football games are either Friday nights or Saturday nights, so we're always there. And if there's not a football game, there's a band competition. So my weekends are basically jam-packed.
What instrument do you play?
I play the alto saxophone.
And what is the alto saxophone? Like, what does alto mean?
There are a few different kinds of saxophones. The alto is a smaller saxophone, the tenor is a little bit larger, and the baritone's ridiculously large.
Why did you decide to play the saxophone?
I've always liked jazz music. My parents have always immersed me in it. I've always loved it, and I just thought it'd be a great instrument to pick up.
Now, back to the soccer. What position do you play in soccer?
I'm a left midi outside.
And what do you do as a left midi? What is your job?
I mean, basically the job entails, getting up the wings for the centers to pass the ball to so we can get across in and score. It's a lot of running up and down the field because you basically are a forward and a defender.
Do you think, if you had to pick one, which one would you pick? Like, if you had to go to one?
Soccer and band? I mean, I'd be able to do club soccer because it's not in band season with band, so I guess if I had to pick, that would be the result, but I don't think I'd like to do that.
What are the intensity levels between the band and the soccer, intensity-wise?
I'd say band is a lot more intense. They have always installed a feeling of pride and commitment, and it's very serious. Soccer, is serious too, and, we take things seriously, but it's a little more calm. It's a little more calm of an environment, so.
How do the kids differ from band and soccer?
I mean, I have some of my greatest friends are in both band and soccer. So at soccer, I mean, it's more of social talk, more girl talk. And, at band, we're obsessing about schoolwork and doing all these things because we all have busy schedules, so we all feel the pain.
Do you feel like you spend more time with your soccer friends than your band friends?
I mean, basically in the fall, I don't have time for a social life, so I spend time with my soccer friends at soccer and my band friends at band. So.
Do you and your band friends take offense to the term band geek?
I mean, some people may. I don't. I empower it. I love it. I get pride out of band. It's probably one of the proudest things I'll ever do. So, you know what? I'm a band geek and I'm proud.
How's the band director and the soccer coach different?
I mean, my soccer coach is very chill, very down to earth. She, she really gets us. She tries to relate to us, and it's very calm, and she's great. The band director, Mrs. Russo, I mean, it's a little more serious. It is a class, so you do get graded on things, if I'm not prepared for a band practice, even if it's at night outside of school, it does affect my grades. So everything is very serious, taken seriously. They take the term, you are a marching ram, very seriously. It has, a high, it's just a high term, so they take it very seriously.
Do you enjoy going to band practice and soccer practice?
I enjoy both. I mean, I think I enjoy soccer practice a little more, maybe. I've just always been in love with soccer. I've been playing it for God knows how long. So, I mean, band practice, I think it's just because band practice is a little long. It could be anywhere from 2.5 to 3.5 hours. Soccer practice is a little shorter, so.
Do they ever conflict with each other?
They do. Both the band director and my soccer coach are like good. They understand. Sometimes maybe I'll be late to a band practice because there's a soccer game, or I'll miss like soccer bonding experiences, like if we go someplace or if we have a pasta party that I can't go to. But it's not too much conflict.
Do you find it an issue when there is a conflict that like you feel like you miss out on certain things?
I mean, I do, and I hate to let down my team and the band. The thing about you can't, for a band performance, everybody has a spot, so you can't be filled in a soccer game. Like people have different spots, you have subs and whatever, so it's a little harder to miss band. But I do feel like I miss out on some things, but for the most part, I balance it well.
Is it nice to feel like you're an important role in the band because you can't be replaced?
Yeah, I do, and I love the band, and because I'm so proud to be there, I would never want to let anybody down, so. Yeah.
And is the band successful this year?
Very successful. It's been a great season. It started out rough because at band camp, we learn all of our drill. I don't know how much you know about marching band, but it was very rainy. It was one of those weekends where we couldn't even be outside, so we didn't learn all of the drill, but it started off rough, and we just got great, and it's been an awesome season.
When does each season start? When does band start, and then when does the soccer season start for you guys?
Soccer season starts with preseason in mid-August. Band starts the same week in mid-August because we have band camp at home and then away. And they basically end the same week, except for this year, the football team's been doing so well that band may continue until football stops, so band might be a little longer.
How are the competitions in band? How do they go?
Band competitions are, it depends on where we go. We've won at Giant Stadium, and we go and perform. There's a bunch of different bands. We're such a large band that most of the time we're probably one of the only people in our division. I mean, this year we've had a little more competition, but you compete as far as size goes.
What is the competition level between bands versus other bands and soccer teams versus other soccer teams?
So there are different kinds of bands. There's A bands, which is what we are. It's a little less practice. Our band directors like to think that we could go play sport or have a life or whatever. And there's also an open band. They practice basically every night a week. It's a little more serious. And as far as soccer, we're doing well. I don't really.
What's it like before a soccer game? Is there a pre-game ritual that you, as a team, go through, or?
We always basically do the same warm-ups. We know what to do. We fill it out. We try and stay positive. We always have a huddle at the end, and.
Do you find your soccer skills helping you in band and vice versa?
I think they both install kind of a sense of commitment and dedication and hard work in me, so it helps both ways, and it builds my mental and physical toughness both ways.
What have your coaches or directors taught you that helps to carry throughout school or other activities that you do?
I've learned to put my all into whatever I can do. I've learned that however hard it may be, I have to keep persevering through both soccer and band, and it's helped me in my schoolwork.
Do you think this will help you later on in life?
Definitely. Both of them and my schoolwork and everything, it builds character, and I've become a more tough, more mature person because of the things I do, and it will carry on through.
Do you see yourself having a future in band or soccer?
Not really. I can't see myself just flat out quitting soccer when I get to college, so I would definitely play intramural or something. Band, I just like to be around music. If I'm not playing, I'll be listening, but I don't intend to pursue a career.
Is it because of marching band that you've had music part of your life now?
I've always loved music. I've always loved listening, and I go to concerts. But I am a little more involved because now that I have now that I have friends in band, like I'll go to school events that maybe I wouldn't have normally gone to. Like I go to the jazz concert, Battle of the Bands, anything music related.
What's it like having your sport as a class or your, in case, band as a class?
It's good because having it as a class means like we have less practice time outside of school. Because if we had more practice time outside of school, I probably wouldn't be able to do soccer. So it's good. It's a little challenging because then you're a little more worried because it is a grade, and I do care about my grades. So
Do you feel like your seasons drag on a little bit towards the end?
yeah, at the end, I mean it gets tiresome, and I mean as much as I love soccer and I love band, you kind of you need to calm down and chill out for a little bit. But
That sounds like a lot of great stuff. Well, that's all the time we have for today, folks. Until next time, I'm Mike Fernandez signing off from Inside RHS. Hello, RHS. I'm here with Mr. Allenbach, and I'd like to ask you a couple questions today. So, what exactly do you do?
I'm the supervisor of visual and performing arts and music education for the Randolph schools.
So, do you how much are you involved with the marching band?
At this point, I supervise that group as well as the art and music programs, elementary, middle school, and high school. So I'm not officially directly related in terms of being a director, but I do collaborate with the staff to ensure that band camp is successful and that the season goes well.
Who decides what the show is going to be like for the marching band?
Each year, the band staff works together. They collaborate, share ideas, and peruse different materials and come up with a theme or a concept that they like. And it's kind of a group effort among the band staff.
What are the themes that you guys have done in the past or this year?
In the past, we've done everything from Dvorak New World Symphony to a compilation of various other composers' works. This year, it's music of Ralph Vaughan Williams, variations and themes on one of his hymns.
Are the shows the same as the ones that the band goes for competitions for?
Yeah, there's one show that they learn at band camp and then spend the season refining it in rehearsals. They perform it at halftime shows at home and away games, as well as do anywhere from 3 to 5 competitions.
Do you go to the band camps and the practices and things like that?
I do. Not every one, not every day, but I spend some time there.
Do you help the coaches and directors teach the instruments and how to play and everything?
Not directly. It's more of a supervision role, making sure that everything is moving along.
Have you ever been a director before you became? What was that like?
Very rewarding. My whole career has been in Randolph. I was an elementary director for 1 year, middle school director for 4 years, and high school band director for 6.
Now, what's the difference between being an elementary school band director and a high school band director?
Well, elementary school, you're starting the students off on the instruments and getting them some basic foundation things taken care of. And of course, at the high school level, it has more to do with higher level musicianship skills.
Is it hard to keep elementary school kids continuing with the same instrument all through high school?
Yeah, year to year, you have to make sure that they're feeling that it's worthwhile, that it's rewarding, and that they feel like it's something that they want to continue doing.
What is the band atmosphere like when it's at band camp?
The atmosphere is usually pretty positive. They work hard. It's collaborative. It's a team effort. For the most part, it's a nice, positive, comfortable environment.
How do you decide who the directors are and leaders for the band?
Well, the directors are squared away each year because of their positions in the district as teachers. And there's actually student leadership as well. So there's section leaders and the 3 head student leadership positions are the drum majors. And those are selected through a process of kind of audition, interview, and a selection process.
Have you always wanted to work in the band?
Yeah. It's been ever since I was in school, a student myself. It was really what I did and what I felt that I excelled at the most. So it seemed to be a good career option for me.
What's the difference between being a director and being a supervisor of the entire?
Well, supervisor is an administrative position, and it deals with everything from evaluation of the teachers to managing the budget and the curriculum And of course, when you're a director, it's really just hands-on teaching with the students on a daily basis.
Do you feel like one is more rewarding than the other?
Anytime I get to spend time making music with students is really rewarding. And as the supervisor, I do get to teach one class, so I do direct the wind ensemble at the high school. So they both have their pros and cons to some degree, but any time that I can spend with students is a highlight.
Now, after marching band's over, what happens to this band group? Does it stay together? Or?
Yeah, the marching band season wraps up around Thanksgiving, a bit before. And then at this point, the students are doing seating auditions for our concert groups. We have 3 levels, a concert band, symphonic winds, and the wind ensemble. So they spend the rest of the year in those concert groups.
Now, what's the difference between marching band competitions and like concerts?
Well, concerts are, open to the public, seated in the auditorium, on the stage, performance. And of course, the marching band competitions or halftime shows are, they're outside. You have the people in the stands. For the competitions, of course, you have judges giving you feedback, and you get placed first, second, third, and so on.
Is one more challenging to prepare for than another?
I think maybe the competition's a bit more challenging just because of the additional stress and components of getting ready to perform for judges.
Do you feel like it's harder to walk around with the instrument than just sit down?
Sure. Definitely has its challenges, depending on the instrument. Yeah.
So, the steps and everything, how crucial are the steps when it's marching?
Yeah, it's an overall package that becomes the final product. Music, and you referred to as steps, we call that the drill. So the drill combined visually with the music is really what makes an overall package. So it's an added component.
So how hard is it to understand these drills or steps?
I think when you're a freshman and you're just starting off, it's a bit challenging, but the longer you do it, the easier it becomes, and you kind of put that knowledge base together, and you move forward. So at first, there's a bit of a learning curve, but it really becomes kind of a second language for the students.
How much do the drills change from year to year?
Difficulty, I think we try and maintain the level of performance and difficulty. The drill will have some of the same components year after year, but it's a customized written drill based on the music that's chosen.
So do you have to rewrite each steps every year?
Yes, we actually have a person who writes the drill called our drill writer, who is given the number of students per instrument so that they know exactly how many spots they have to write for. And it's a customized drill each year based on the music.
And how long does that take to make?
I think the drill writer probably spends anywhere from 3 to 5 weeks working on it.
And how much does that change from the beginning to the end of the year?
We actually don't make, we make very few, if any, adjustments to the drill, just to keep consistency from rehearsal to rehearsal for the students.
Do you feel like it's harder to change it once you've already put it in place?
Definitely. It has a whole set of different challenges if you were to adjust it after you've established it.
How does the weather affect your marching?
Well, if it's what we call a Randolph mist, which could be a pretty heavy drizzle, we'll go outside for a while. If it's raining, you can't be outside for a couple reasons, but one being you wouldn't want the students to spend enough time outside where they end up getting sick and then they're unable to perform at the next performance, but the instruments also can only withstand a certain amount of rain, So there's times when rehearsals have to be indoors or that we're not able to go on the field and perform. Recently this year we had a very heavy rain 2 days before a home game, and they had the football game, and of course the field got pretty damaged, so sometimes the marching band would then have to perform on the sideline as opposed to on the field doing the drill.
And how different is that from being on the sideline to like being on the field?
Well, on the sideline, you're really, it's more of like we were talking about, a concert band concert. You're outside on the track in arcs and you're playing the music. So of course, the drill isn't a component. So you don't have the visual impact or visual effects when you do a standstill that you do when you're on the field.
So is the concert going to help kids in marching band and vice versa?
Definitely. Musically, our program is based on the concert band program is the core, And then things like jazz ensemble, marching band, percussion ensemble, those are the things that kind of reach out from that core. So they definitely help each other out.
Are there certain morals that you try to place in your band members throughout band camp and the season?
Yeah, we stress the importance of being respectful, working hard, being collaborative, respecting others, self-discipline. Try and really, make it an all-around positive experience for everybody.
Do you feel like this will help them in other parts of their life?
Absolutely. You really learn a lot about organization, keeping yourself, in place in terms of due dates for projects and things. And oftentimes, I think we find that students who are very busy, whether it's athletics or with other extracurricular clubs or things like marching band, they actually tend to do well keeping themselves on track academically. It actually helps them to stay organized.
And marching band, how long does that, when does it start?
Starts mid to late August for band camp, which is about a week when it's all said and done. And so you march from the heat of August all the way up until when it gets cold around Thanksgiving.
All right, well, thank you for your time, but we're out of time. Until next time, I'm Mike Fernandez. Now I have with me Melissa Osikowski and Katie Sapia, two tremendous soccer players of the Randolph Lady Names. I'll tell the viewers what it's like to be on the soccer team.
It's an honor to be on the varsity team. Everyone looks up to you, and at Fan Appreciation Night, we're the role models for all the little girls. So,
being part of the soccer program is tradition between the past, the present, and the future. We go to the little kids' games. We work for ourselves, and then we're also there for the alumni and whatnot.
How is the soccer team going this year?
we're doing well. States start on Tuesday, which is the first round. We play Morristown at home, so welcome to come. But our season is going really well. We had a good run in conference, and counties didn't go as well as we hoped, but we're looking forward to states.
Like every team, we had our ups and our downs, but it happens. And now we're looking for the future.
How long have both of you been on varsity?
Katie and I have both been on varsity since we were freshmen, so it's very weird for it to be our senior year, and with only a couple weeks left, it blows my mind.
Yeah, just like watching these 4 years that flew by, and think that we were on we were on varsity as freshmen. It's just weird.
What was it like being a varsity player as a freshman?
Very scary at first, but all the older girls kind of took us underneath their wings. We all had big sisters, and there were only 2 seniors when we were freshmen, so we always drove with one, and it was kind of very cool because we, as freshmen, had a ride to all the pasta parties, and some sophomores and juniors didn't, so that was cool.
You didn't realize back then how young we were, but we were young, and just looking back at it now, and we didn't really understand what the soccer program was about, and what it means to actually win. And now, as we grow older, it's good.
If you yourself acting like those 2 seniors as your freshman year, you helping the other freshmen or sophomores on the varsity?
Definitely. There are 3 freshmen on varsity, just like it was when we were freshmen. Christy Menzoza was also a freshman on varsity, and we drive them around to pasta parties. There are a couple more seniors, so it's easier, but I definitely think they look up to us as mentors and role models and stuff like that.
A lot of the young girls are we'll all hang out outside of soccer, and I think that's what makes us so close as a team.
Do you guys see yourself having a future in soccer?
I'm not sure what my college career is going to look like. I don't think I'm going to play a Division I, Division II, Division III, but I think I would like to pursue soccer on a club team or even just an intramural team for fun. So after this season, I'm done for competitive soccer.
I'm looking to continue to play soccer in college. Division III only right now, just seeing where things pan out, but soccer will always be in my life.
How's the coaching staff? What are they like?
The coaching staff is awesome. Coach Souffle is our head coach, and Dr. Buchanan is our assistant coach. Both bring so much to the table. Coach Souffle is tough, but loves soccer and is very passionate and dedicated to the team. I have learned most of my soccer techniques from her because our coaches, just because of the way she teaches us the fundamentals of everything. And Dr. Buchanan is great to have around. He's funny, he lightens up the mood, but he's just as competitive and intense as she is.
We kind of play the good cop, bad cop role with each other, but they balance each other out and help us through whatever we need to get through. They're both motivating and enlighten us about soccer and life.
Have they been coaching all through your varsity career?
Coach Souffle has been the head coach for all 4 years that I've been here and past years. Dr. Buchanan has been our assistant coach since junior year, which was last year.
Previously, we had a different assistant coach, Coach Bowman. She was also very good, but just had to look for other future opportunities.
Now, what do you guys do outside of soccer?
I'm student council president, so Coach Souffle was very understanding when I took this role on, and she knew that I would have to be balancing a lot of stuff, but she helped me out. She's there if I hit a wall on some things, but I'm very active in the school and I love doing both.
I like to do a lot of volunteer work. During the winter, I go to a Challengers program, it's called, and help kids with mental disabilities play basketball. Along with that, I do photography and work.
Now, around what time does the soccer season start?
This year we started August 18th was our first day of preseason, but it starts as soon as we get out of school. There will be practices once a week in the summer. We go to a team camp together in the beginning of August, but it's around the end of August that we actually start preseason.
Everything else is just kind of standard running, conditioning. And once preseason starts, there's the first day is fitness, testing, and the rest is we get into soccer, break into teams.
In the beginning of the year, how excited were you for your last year of varsity soccer?
It was very nerve-wracking. I was excited because I've kind of been looking forward to my senior year since I was a freshman, and it's mind-boggling that I'm finally a senior, but at the same time it's very sad because right now there is only a couple of weeks left, and I hate to see it go.
In the beginning of the season, it was all excitement. It was excited to be a leader and to make your legacy. But now it's coming into the end. It's bittersweet.
Has senior year been everything you thought it was going to be?
Yes, I think so. I didn't really know what to expect because it's at the end of every season. You don't think a season will go on without those seniors and those players, but like every year you move on and the juniors become the seniors, so it was very interesting to see how our senior class would play out, but I really think we did a great job leading the team and leading the younger girls and setting a good example.
Nothing is ever as expected, but we left our legacy. We're still leaving our legacy, and I think that's all that counts.
Do you find it hard to balance your schoolwork with soccer?
Sometimes I think I hate to say it, but sometimes my schoolwork goes to the wayside, and soccer is my number one priority. But I always have great time management because as soon as I get home at 6 o'clock, I have to start my homework and get going. And my coursework is hard, but I tend to stay very focused, and I can get it done. So it's not that big of a problem.
Soccer helps sometimes too because you have to manage it. You know you have a game, and you have to get it done before, and just continue that way.
What's it like being a senior and having all these colleges look at you and everything, and then also having to focus on your soccer?
It's kind of an honor to be asked to play for a college or have recruitment come and talk to you and coaches email you and look forward to talking to you. And at the same time, it's very hard and scary, and Katie could talk about that more.
I mean, you just kind of always feel like you're under a bird's eye watch. You have to make sure everything is right, and if you do something wrong, to make sure your attitude is all right too. And just the that's how coaches judge, which adds more pressure, but you have to just fight through it, and that's another thing that they judge too.
How do you feel like the freshmen look up to you, like as older mentors?
I was never sure if they actually looked up to us as role models, but all three freshmen light up when they see us in the hallway, and I'm just excited to see them. But I think they really look up to us, and at halftime when we have to talk about what's going on and make speeches, you always see them concentrating the most compared to the others. And not that everyone is not giving your full attention, but I think they're always inspired, and it's just such a new experience for them that they take it all in as much as they can.
Along with that, they kind of look up to us, but also consider us as friends, and I think that's what makes them look up to us even more, because we are there for them, and then they learn from that.
Do you find yourself playing harder because it's your last game, or it might be your last game of your career?
We are always to play as if it's our last game. We're always told that, but on Tuesday, because Tuesday it states a single elimination, so Tuesday could be our last game. It's definitely going to be a little more intense, I think, for us, and scary at the same time, but it should be a great game.
But you have to like give your all with every game. But now the state's coming in, and the reality of it all setting in, it's time to give it even more.
How close are you guys as a senior class? Like, you guys came up together through varsity. How close-knit is that group?
We're all five of us are best friends. We've played together since we were 8 years old. And Katie and I especially moved up together through the B teams and the A teams in the travel leagues and through high school. And I could call Katie my best friend, as well as the other three players. I think we're definitely the closest knit group that has come through.
We know each other inside out, basically, whether it's through our personalities or on the field. Kind of have that like twin telepathy, except not being twins at all. We're just like best friends forever through soccer. And they're the only girls I played with all my life, so that helps a lot.
Do you feel like that's helped you in soccer?
Yes, definitely. People that I am close with, I feel more comfortable with, and automatically I play better, and I know that I'll do well.
And in soccer especially, you have to have chemistry with the team in order to play well, and so that created that chemistry and helped other girls get chemistry along with it.
All right, well, that's all the time we have for today. It was great talking to you guys, but
Thank
until
you.
next time, I'm Mike Fernandez here on Inside RHS.